So today's episode of Shift Happens Catalyst Conversations is very special because actually it's not our first time to do it. We had a practice round due to technical issues. It went all wrong. And then we had a lot of technical issues also today, but finally, yeah, here because we need to get this message out. We need to get this wisdom out of our feminine brains and bodies and share with the world. With me today, I have Barbara from Czech Republic or Czechia, and it's also known right now. And I've seen her in many different forms and shapes. First, we met as coaches of Mindvalley, like all over the coaches. And she also teaches something very interesting called primal flow. And she's also transformed into this very cool feminine person, rediscovered her femininity, but from a different kind of angle. So I guess my words don't do justice. Barbara, who has transformed into many different shapes and forms, but just going to allow her to tell us a little bit about maybe some of the biggest transformations or whatever she wants to share about transformations that she has had recently or maybe in her life. Because I know that she also transformed into a mother at some point. Now she's transforming into a teacher. So she's playing many, many different roles. So tell us something about your transformations and what have you had in your life?
Hi, Silja. Thank you for having me here. I was so looking forward to this because I know we can really flow and dive deep into our topics as we are two for in human design,
Yeah.
both of us. So we love depth, also our network. So yeah, so glad to be here with you. And actually, I'm not sure where to start because once you step into this or onto this journey of development and self growth, I think it's one big ride of transformation.
Yeah, and you'll always change it. And when you get one point, then you want something else. But maybe I also know that you had this very cool story about being an
Yeah.
athlete when you were younger. So you can also
Yeah.
share how you became an athlete and how you transformed out of this into a coach who is now helping other people.
Yeah. I used to be an athlete, like a very young kid. I used to be more of like boy, let's say, a tomboy, that girl who loves sports and has her more like boyish look. And yeah, I used to be really wild. Then I really wanted for so many years, I wanted to play football, soccer. And as a first child of my dad, I was brought to football because he used to be a football player and he loved football. But then when I really fell in love with football, he didn't want me to actually become a football player because he didn't want his daughter to be a boy, kind of a boy. And also when I was 18, I started playing football really because of my own desire and I started to play competitive football. I was a beginner, kind of, so I had to fight a bit for my own position in the team. And it was already a women's team. They all were adults and most of them were older than me. So it was really uncomfortable for me to be there and to not know much. That's one of my features, or let's say really advantages, that I have this huge inner urge, that strong urge to grow and to become better at what I really love and what I feel is mine. So I grew and improved really quickly in soccer, in football. In 5 years, I made it to the highest league in my country. And in another 3 years, I made it to the national team. So I really loved football so much. And I love it till today, even if I don't play anymore. But football, and I mean, sports and movement has played such a huge part in my life from my early childhood till today. And yeah, let's say my body has been the most amazing ally in all of that through all those years and through my growth. So I really perceive my body as the most important thing through any transformation, even if some transformations feel like you need to change your mindset, as we tend to say in the let's say, self-development business or area. But I truly believe that our body is the most important part of our growth. And also, if I may say, already at the beginning of our conversation, I feel this is one of our biggest tasks in our life. We come here as a soul manifested in human body. Really get to know our own body that well, that we develop deep relationship and connection with it. I say with her because I tend to the feminine energy, so I call my body her. So yeah, to really learn to love her deeply, connect with her, to really know her like the most we can, what she needs, how she acts, maybe what's her specifics, because we all have our unique body and we don't come with the manual for it to Earth. So really, that's our task here, learn about her. And for us women, it's even, I would say, not difficult, but it's really a journey because in every part of our life, it can be really different. That's what I also is a part of many of my transformations throughout my life, because my identity, I would say, also was deeply connected also to how my body was working at that time, I would say, maybe.
Before we continue, I just want to say that I'm so with you on this. And I really love that you're bringing out how important the body is, because I also feel that in this self-development, in these circles very often, the body is kind of like left behind, left in the background. But actually, this is like, it's always with you. And we can't be these high spiritual beings without taking care of the body. So for me, also part of self-development is actually growing the body and nourishing the body in the best way possible. So I really love it that you're highlighting how important it is to focus on the body. And the body, yeah, it also goes through many different transformations and everybody will have it. So maybe not everybody will have huge spiritual growth, but the body, this will change
Right.
anyway. First, you're like a baby, you learn how to use your body. Then you like grow up, adult, maybe have children as a woman, as a man, whatever. Then you grow old. So the body will be changing anyway. And you already started going into this topic of different transformations and having identity disconnected to your body. So first you had this identity of being like an athlete. So what came next?
Yeah, there was that part of my life that I felt like an athlete, but actually it wasn't still manifested in my life. That's also important part of, I would say, how you feel, what your identity is, and how you embody it. So even if I wasn't an athlete, like really like competitive and doing many sports, maybe in courses, or clubs or whatever, I really had this identity of an athlete since my very early age, even if I started competing maybe for my high school as a really like a sprinter, let's say, and like mid-distance runner. And then I started with football, which was really truly my love. It stayed with me for quite a lot of years. Then I started with 18. By 26, I made it to the national team, the Czech women's national team. And then I started to play outside my country. I played in Slovakia and in Austria, which were really beautiful years for me. After those many years, it was about 15 years of competitive sports. During that, I also had my really serious injury of my left knee. So it was a big part of my life's journey, because once you're injured and you love sports and you love being an athlete and you dedicate a lot of time and energy and, your life to that, because that's also connected to your relationships and your personal life and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, being an injured athlete, this is tough. I've been there. I had injuries when I was still running as a bodybuilder, zero. But if you just have something in you that is not allowing you to go and train and do what you want to do, your mind wants to go, your emotional self wants to go, but the body is just, then it's, yeah, hard, but I can't because of injury. How did it then change you?
You know what? At that time, it was still before that part of my football journey when I was in the national team. And I truly desire to be a part of the national team. And we say in our country we have this lion as a symbol of our country. And I really wanted to become a lioness. At that year, I was training for making it to the World University, the Olympics for universities. And just before it started, I injured my knee and I was on the roster for that university. So I didn't make it there. And it destroyed me at the time. Really, I was so sad. And for many weeks, I was just not depressed, but really destroyed because I couldn't play football and I didn't make it to that university that was really, truly my desire and one like first big event and opportunity for me. But it truly made me even more dedicated to coming back even stronger and to recover from that injury, because some people told me, okay, now your knee is injured, you're done in football, And I was like, no, I'm not. I just believe I'm not. I believe my body. And I haven't known Silva method or anything like this at the time, but I truly believe I used it subconsciously already at that time because I did a lot of mental training. I envisioned a lot of things. I visualized and I recovered quite quickly. And I learned at the time was the mental training. I was envisioning how I'm doing many things that I still haven't done before with a ball, all those tricks. And then when I stepped back on the field, I just knew that. And I learned it in my mind. So the right, let's say, synapses connected. And I've learned that in my mind, in my body. And my body was taught different tricks and skills at the time without like actually being on the field. And I think that was another big part of my transformation and of my growth and of the teaching or of connection to my soul.
Yeah. So even if you are injured, you can actually be an athlete because it's a lot about this mental journey as well. And I guess this is also already scientifically proven. Nowadays, they talk about different studies. So they make people like visualize practicing sport. And then they have like a control group that doesn't do anything, just no visualization, just practice. Any athlete that also visualizes themselves doing something, they will always get better. And I guess this is also about you being a 2-4 in human design, like me, because mine do. This is like natural talent. So even if you don't know why you did it, something in you
Right.
already knew that, okay, this is the way to go. Your body knew the best way how to recover and heal and come back to the fields.
It's truly about, letting your body, your soul to be in connection, because your body can always show you the way. Truly, when you lean into the trust and you let your body like at peace, not being in that survival mode, but truly offering your body those moments of silence and of stillness and truly being in joy and pleasure also. It can show you really your highest timeline, highest way, and truly talk to you where to go next. Really, that's not about listening some voice out there. It's manifesting that voice comes through your body, through your maybe third eye, and through your emotions and through your sacral. How you feel pleasure, how you feel safe or not safe, and how you shiver maybe around some things. And you have the butterflies in your stomach around some people, or really the disgust about some people. It's just your body telling you the real truth, your truth.
Yeah, the body always knows. Even if your mind is like, okay, actually, I like this person, but your body is like, nope. You should listen to the body because the body knows. The body knows that you're not supposed to be close to that person, for example, and it can really get you out of difficult places. Nowadays, I'm listening to my body more and more. I'm super body oriented, and finally, I'm also respecting and accepting this, that yes, it's okay to be so body oriented. It's okay to just listen to the body. And in some situations, I even feel like some kind of disgust. And then I just remove myself and just leave. It's not about people, it's not personal. But I can feel that, okay, this situation is over for me. Now I need to go. And then I just go.
Yeah.
you know?
And when you really listen to your body, act on it, you can listen to, or you can hear even the slightest or the quietest nudges of your body, because your intuition gets so much stronger, and your body then doesn't have to shout at you with sickness or total burnout or frustration. When you start listening to all those slight, "Hmm, that doesn't feel that well," and you don't overanalyze it, you just tap into that, feel your emotions, listen to what they say to you, or really those feelings in your body, your senses. You know, these are amazing allies of you. We tend to still in our culture, we tend to overanalyze our emotions or like swipe them under the carpet. But our emotions are really beautiful messengers of our journey, and guides. Listen to them. They can't overwhelm me in a way that I just don't know what to do with myself. But really listen, why am I angry now? What's that thing behind? Where have I let like those around me overstep my boundaries? Or where did I overstep my boundaries? Or, that's the anger or the sadness. What's behind, Just not like say, just don't be sad. Let's go ahead. We can make it. We can break through. But what's behind? And not, again, not overanalyze, but just listen to that and giving myself and to my body space to really let those emotions move through my body, because it's just energy in motion, as we know, motion, energy in motion. So when I become truly sad with something, I always do now, I always do that I stand up and play a song and just start dancing. Real sensual dance and alchemize that emotion into pleasure.
Yeah, you allow yourself to feel this emotion, and this way you can let go of it. You can detach from the emotion. Otherwise, it will just be stuck in the body, and it can manifest as an injury, as a disease, as some kind of pain.
Right.
So, yeah, I also do that. I dance a lot. So sometimes I keep forgetting how much dance can help me, and then I need to be reminding myself. And when it's maybe even when I'm sad, I might listen to some kind of sad song, but this also helps me to feel
Yes.
through this.
Right.
And this always elevates your being. It always like releases. So you feel the emotion and then you let it go. And then you can be balanced and stable
Yeah.
again.
So is that like the first hit of that big emotion, for example? And then you can process it. You don't swipe it under the carpet or just like move it and let it be. It can be that case, but there can be also the case of some like big thing under in your body, stored in your body, some kind of trauma or something like that. And that's also what I processed throughout my body. Throughout my journey, I had some time. It was maybe more than 10 years ago. Definitely. It's maybe also already like 14, 15 years. I had this part of my journey when I had antidepressants and I was so burned out, but not just burned out, but really like sad, so sad in my life. And my relationships, I mean, intimate relationships really weren't successful. Partly of my really focus on my football career, but also because of my own trauma, my own childhood wounds, and my choices in those relationships. And I was so burned out with all those relationships that life gave me this opportunity to face that. But I faced that with antidepressants, or at the time, I had this therapist that brought me to the psychiatrist who gave me those antidepressants. And I must say, it helped me at the time, but that was maybe also that swipe under the carpet helped for some time. But then after many, many years, and I think it came like the main hit was when I became a mother and in the following years.
So that's another transformation, becoming a mother, like giving life
Yeah.
to other people as well.
Yeah. So yeah, there was the big part of being a pro athlete and also a coach. I used to coach kids on a highest level in our country. among men. So it was another big part of my self growth to really like building my own respect in the men's world, still staying feminine. And I think that's one of my topics also throughout my life. So then I got pregnant while still playing football. At my 33 years of age, I became I got pregnant. And I was a pregnant athlete. I was still competing till the third month of pregnancy. So both my kids always played with me, played soccer with me in my belly. They don't like football. I don't know, but I don't push them. I'm not that pushy mom. Yeah, I did this sport, so you need to do that too. So yeah, and they have, my daughter, the older kid, is definitely a talent for that, but she just doesn't want to. And she is actually 2'4" as we are, my dear. So another 2'4" profile. But going back to pregnancy, the body changed a lot. And actually really desired to become a mom for many years at that time. I was truly happy. I was so looking forward to really see and feel my baby bump growing. It was truly a happy time for me. In the first pregnancy, definitely more because the second pregnancy, it was demanding a lot because I used to breastfeed my daughter still when I was pregnant for the second time. And I was really tired throughout my second pregnancy, truly, truly tired. And I still had to take care of the kid. She was 3 years old at the time, 2 and 3. It was really demanding for me. And what I want to say about that, I started always when I put her to sleep, I went, it was at about like 10 p.m. I can still remember that, even if it's now like 5 years ago. So I always went to the sweet basket, took out, and I know that till these days, it was Kinder Bueno, the white one, ate the whole thing at 10 p.m. and then soothed my emotions, my body with that sweet thing, sweet fat thing, and then kind of fell asleep, or sometimes I just procrastinated at that bedtime, as many moms will know. So I kind of postponed my time of going to sleep. Then I breastfed throughout the night and all that stuff. I gave birth to my second child, to my son. I had like 10, 12 kilos overweight, like overweight over my weight before. So my body was looking completely different. And I can still remember that moment. I had my football business around, like for football girls, the clothes and all that stuff. And I was shooting the videos. My son was about 1 month or 6 weeks. I think it was that 6 week period over after delivering him. And I shot the video and I was doing some tricks on the video. And I saw myself on that video and I started how my body looked, how everything was jumping, bumping, like soft and not holding, like together and being overweight in that t-shirt and all that stuff. And I felt that discrepancy between who I felt I was and who I saw in the video. And I think this is a big part of the journey of many people and many women, that they feel like somebody else. And we tend to connect really that identity of ours to how our body looks, if you can agree.
Yeah. With so many transformations, pro athlete, and then like mother, and then okay, then try to be an athlete again, kind of. But it's 6 weeks after birth. This is like super soon. I'm like, wow. Many women, they don't do anything for many, many months. And you're already like working and trying to inspire other people. They're always striving you. They just want to teach these girls so much that they're like already month after birth, they're like, okay, I'm going to continue.
Yeah, you know what I realized quite not a long time ago. I love to, and that's what I would love to tap into too, like together. I don't like channel this theory around quotes and activations and embodiment because that's, as we were talking about, it's the highest path or a way how to navigate life or how to get to that highest timeline of yours really through the body and through embodying the identity and the energy of yours, what you're here to live, that potential, as we tend to say, or really that highest timeline of yours, that highest self. So what I wanted to say is that I realized quite not a long time ago through numerology, because I combine human design and gene keys and numerology and astrology. And I truly see how these things that you realize about yourself, these are like codes that your soul came here with, your soul print, let's say. All those codes together create your unique soul print. As you have your fingerprint, you have your soul print. And you can really read that, see that in your human design, in all those things. There are many things that you can read about your soul, and they are truly they truly fit. And I use that with my clients and with my kids and with myself. And it has been a big part of my own self growth. What I realized through numerology, when you count your numbers of your date number or the birth number, let's say birthday, you come up with life path. You sum them up. And mine is 33. It's a must. And you count them together, you get like single digit. But when you count and you get 11, 22, or 33, you don't sum it up, or you do still, but it's like the additional energy cream. But the main energy is that 11, 22, or 33. And it's a master number when you get 11, 22, or 33. And I realized I had this 33 plus the additional energy of 3 plus 3 is 6. And 33 is a master teacher. And that's what I realized. I've always, and now it's 33 minutes of our recording, another coincidence. What I realized, I've also always loved teaching people and guiding them. And it's a huge part of my journey,
This is so fun because my birthday is 3-3.
Yeah.
33. We were meant to meet.
Oh, yeah.
My number is 32, so it's kind of like 5 actually, but close.
Yeah. And we are both in March, right? 9th of March, 83. So my life, my life is always kind of ruled or navigated by threes, 3s, 6s, 9s, 33. It's, that's the divine trinity, 3, 6, 9. All the solfeggio frequencies, when you play those tracks with those frequencies, you can divide them by 3. They are always some, I don't know how it's called.
Multiplier of 3.
It's always some, So I wouldn't say ruled by 3, but really like guided by number 3 or 6 or 9. And so 33 is a master teacher. And it's not like bragging about that, I'm a master teacher. It's more like I feel the weight of truly fulfilling the purpose and guiding people and inspiring and truly grow, always like seeing the lessons in my life, like as gifts, as not something that's happening to me, but really happening for me. And I told my friends not a long time ago, now I don't study any courses. I study my own life. And that's the greatest course and quest and academy.
Oh, yeah. That's what I always say. You are your most exciting project and you are your most exciting topic to study. And, human design, this is actually like this user manual for you, your blueprint. There are so many details, so many nuances. And if you go into gene keys, which is kind of like this younger sibling of human design, you can go even deeper with the nuance and flavor. So there are so many things to study, and also putting yourself into different situations. And in human design, you also have the transits. So the planet's always changing and everything is changing. So you in business, you in love life, you as a mother, you as a career person. So your human design and you also functioning in different roles and situations. So it's always changing. And there's always something to study. It's like a lifelong study.
Yeah, I developed my own method around, let's say. It's the path of really having your codes, your soul print. And you can find out in those different human design, gene keys, astrology, numerology, but also what your body loves. That's also your own code. You decode all those things when you are truly conscious and aware of your life. So there are really different codes. A number can be a code for you. You know, I love eights, really. Like 888 is my most amazing.
I love number
Right?
8 because my year is
Oh, I
88.
love 88. I love, yeah.
I'm obsessed with number 8. So whenever I'm publishing like a new podcast episode, I schedule it for 8, like 8 in the morning, 8:08.
Yeah, I know. I
So-
always, when we see that with my daughter, oh, mom, when she sees that, oh, mom, 8, yes. And 3, the same, you know. So yeah, I love it. I love your birth number then. 3388.
9, 3 and 8, they're both like 8.
I love it. 3388. So that's amazing. The numbers can be a great code for you. The sun gives you codes every day. Earth gives you codes every day. That's also, these are amazing tools for activating yourself. So first step is the code. You get the codes. Open you are to that, what you choose also to become your code. So you have this code. Then you activate them in your body by reading them, by saying them, by really seeing them, feeling them through your senses. And then embodiment needs to come in order to really have it like natural part of you and of your path. So these codes of your highest timeline, you can just let them sleep, or you can activate yourself and then embody them, that they become really that natural part of your life. And you elevate like this by activation and embodiment. And once you have embodied that, you can expand from that. You know, you raise the bar, you raise the standard, your new normal, and then you expand from that to another level. And this is a path, this is a method I developed for myself. It's kind of a quantum jumping, we can say, or manifesting. And I've always manifested the best really through my body, through envisioning, as I told you already with football, envisioning. Or already as a young kid, I envision things and then they happen. So I envision and not just like see it, but truly then act on it. So I embody that version that already lives that. So the girls of my soul family ask me, Barbara, so how do you embody that? And I'm saying, for example, I go out and have my queen walk because I'm living my queen mindset, queen goddess, let's say, like level of life. I navigate that, or I'm doing my best to navigate everything from that level. Then I have my queen walk, really being that confident, beautiful, sensual woman, really. I do my hair also, my makeup, you know, or take care of my body, move frequently, eat amazing food, you know, not really put any trash into my body because it's a temple. It's a goddess temple. And I do my walk. For example, when I go outside and walk, I really walk like a queen, you know, like that, but embodied. It's not like bragging or, you know, I'm more than anyone else, but truly inside. And what I've also haven't mentioned yet is another thing that's guiding me really in my own growth. And that's this inner union. And inner union, I perceive as really that balance between my inner masculine and my inner feminine. And truly like creating that intimate relationship inside of myself and towards myself and my body, that I don't seek it outside. And that's also a huge part of my growth and transformation in past maybe 1 or 2 years. Yeah, 1.5 years, let's say. Because I had this huge childhood wound for that need for validation and not being loved and not being enough, truly like needing that validation from outside and that love from outside. And I suffered for so many years. Some situations happened in my life, that cracked me open, cracked my heart open. And I was really faced with all those childhood wounds not a long time ago. And so then it really kind of like pushed me or urged me to really face those wounds and release them. And I believe that we never fully heal in our lives. Oh, it's still like, it's that journey. We go along the spiral and we get to kind of the same point, but on the higher level, you know? And again, we get to that point of, ah, I'm still not whole here. I need that thing from the outside, other people to give me love, other people to give me validation that I'm good enough or I'm amazing or, you know, this kind of stuff. But what I want to say, that vision of inner union and embodying that, so various practices and also like really that embodiment of embodying that version of me who is and doesn't see that from the outside, it's truly skyrocketed my transformation. And also,
Like, yeah, like the word already says embodiment. So it's coming through
yeah,
the body. We're doing the queen walk, and then we're also doing something interesting called primal flow. So kind of embodying this animal
yeah.
side of yourself through this primal tribal movement. So it's all about the
That's
body.
also one of my deep beliefs that we, or I'm talking now about myself, to really get to that wild, raw version of yours, that soul that doesn't need anyone to say, yeah, now you're okay, now you're not. Really, that wild, but not the wild like crazy. Because when you say wild, many people see like that crazy human who doesn't have boundaries.
Yeah, we need to lock them
Yeah,
up in the
right?
zoo because wine is
Yeah.
like dangerous. You can't control the wine world.
Yeah. But for me, wild is really being in intimate connection with your soul, with who you like came here to be, and not really needing that validation from outside, and feeling your own way, expressing yourself and being, yeah, it's that highest timeline for me to truly get to the point. You don't care what anyone thinks, if you're too much or too little or whatever, because you have embodied that belief you're enough and you're just perfect as you are. And your path and your choices are perfect as they are. And you believe in divine timing and that nothing you do, any step you do, is truly like a bad decision. I truly feel that when I'm intimately connected to my body and I hear her, then I just can't go wrong. And sometimes some things just take time, and some connections take time, and some manifestations when you truly feel this is yours in your life and they still haven't manifested. I feel that the trust is truly a big part of that, to bring that to life, and still be embodying the energy of that version who already has that. Embodiment for me is alpha omega of everything, what we still haven't touched, but is a big part of my transformation in the past years, is also a tantric way. It's also a part of that embodiment journey, you know, and that's how I truly connected with my body and healed, really healed a lot. These ones I was talking about, it happened during the last year, let's say. It was almost a 9-month journey. And that was actually my last, I think, course at academy I attended, and it was amazing. I was guided by Stephanie J, and she did an amazing job of guiding us. It all already it started with self-love practices, and then healing, also a sacred rage. That's what we tapped into with those emotions. Before in our conversation, we were releasing a lot of anger stored in our bodies, you know, which we really, like many of us, kind of drag with us, you know, as a baggage with us throughout the life. And then it manifests by shouting at the kids and shouting at other people, or really sickness. When you suppress it and don't let it out, it can manifest like chronic inflammation and all its stuff. And again, it's connected to the body. So we were releasing a lot of anger with our sacred rage practices. Then we healed father and mother wounds and the wounds connected to the relationship with feminine and with masculine, and kind of built that started building that inner union from them. First, we needed to heal that and release all those child baggages, let's say. And then we started building the connection inside those energies and consciously choose what energy you now need to embody. Because I perceive myself as a beautiful woman. I have a lot of feminine inside of me, but also I have a lot of masculine, as we were talking about before. And that's maybe we can resonate with each other
Oh yeah.
as you are athlete and high achiever and maybe also perfectionist. There's a lot of masculine energy in that way. But now we learn to consciously choose that, because you need to have also healthy masculine inside of you to get things done, actually, to have a structure in your life, to not just like flow and be that very beautiful light feminine, but really to
Yeah. I'm not gonna wait for somebody else to come and say me, give me like the structure, because I can create the structure for myself. I create the structure and then flow
right.
inside this
Yeah.
structure and get stuff done, but also like, little bit
Yeah.
of flow, quite masculine in
Oh
some
yeah.
ways. So I'm kind of like dancing with having the hair and the eyebrows and, the nails. So I'm kind of at least from the outside balancing it and allowing myself to rest more as well. So and to be a little bit more
Yeah.
softer. But also when needed, using my masculine to get stuff done.
I so resonate with that. And I also created one of the rituals I taught, or I've been teaching my students, strong, soft, and sensual ritual, where you tap into your strengths throughout your body, also with journaling and affirmations, then and envisioning, then softness, the beautiful soft feminine in you. Also, again, through movement, through your body, through beautiful touch, really those tantric tools incorporating into your daily routine and into your morning routine and also evening routine. And softness and that sensual dance, being really in that intimate connection, really feeling yourself as sexy and really you would love to, spend an intimate time with as the first one, not waiting, expecting that from the outside, from any partner, but truly feeling your body, your own body and yourself as such a sexy, amazing, strong and soft being that you love to spend time with, and you love touch and you love to touch and all that stuff. And you create such an environment for yourself. And then it can come from the outside. So I truly love incorporating body in any coaching work. And also now when I became a teacher again, I got back to my previous workplace to also bring that to my classes, even when we are sitting in the desk, like at the desks, because I teach English. So, like bringing the embodiment tools also to the classroom and to put a mirror on for them to see their own gifts and strengths and all that stuff and start loving themselves and seeing themselves as interesting. So yeah, I ran away from those tantric tools, but I perceive them as a daily, really like a huge part of my life, huge part of the embodiment, really through touch, movement, sound, and breath, also breath work. There is a lot we could be talking hours and hours.
Yeah. So you said you have like different students, you coach them. What kind of people do you help? What kind of problems do they come to you with? What are the different topics that you focus on? Like, is it men, women, everybody?
Yeah, I focused on women for a long time. And as you also tapped to animal flow, I also teach animal flow. And I perceive it also as a beautiful fitness tool as well as embodiment tool, because you can really embody different energies to that masculine, feminine, dark, light, to be sensual, to be really strong, to be soft and just flow. It's an amazing tool. For a very long time, I had this coaching journey where I was teaching people how to take care of your body as best as possible, as a whole body coach and as a longevity coach. But then I felt I just need to expand on that. I started using human design in my coaching business, and all those tools I was mentioning, those codes, to really help people see their own gifts and strengths, and also shadows, because shadows are a big part of our journey. When we accept them, that's where the fun starts and where the pleasurable life starts. Because once you accept and get to know your shadows and accept them and start loving them, wow, what a fun it starts in your life, because then you truly enjoy yourself. That's what I started bringing in to my coaching, for my coaching clients too. And also around me, I also love to just inspire people around me and bring the best out of me for them. We have a team in my soul family. We have TCC, Turkish Consciousness Collective, where we inspire each other. So I love to also grow my leadership there, and the feminine leadership, which we could create another podcast around, right? So I have these people, really those conscious, heart-centered, soul-centered, spiritual, conscious people who I love to work with. And it doesn't matter if it's more focused on body, really truly almost fitness focused or wellness focused, and or truly healing the wounds and building your confidence, and really coming to your highest timeline. And that doesn't matter if it's truly like body or mind or energy. It's always, I think, when the people are conscious. And yeah, and what I wanted to say, the visionaries, really those people who want to impact in the world and want, as we say, make the world a better place. I feel now is really a transformational time, and the world is changing a lot, and also astrologically. And really, who stepped into the energies, we can feel that just in the past few months, there is just something really going on. And so I love working with those people who really see and feel their highest timeline, want to get there, but still weren't able to embody their highest timeline and their highest self. So they are heading to their highest self, but maybe something is holding themselves back. And I love to give them the tools, embodiment tools, and those codes, soul prints, to really accept themselves and expand from there, to embody the energy of that version of themselves, and expanding and keep growing. It becomes so much fun, transformation, even in those tough times when you feel like, how to say it, like you don't feel well. You have maybe a lot of challenges at some point, but at the same time, you feel truly pleasurable about that, because you know that the breakthrough is just around the corner with such challenge, And that's what I love to bring to people, really that
This because this all can change to the better, and you can come out of this. So
I have actually on my back, there is a huge phoenix, and that's how I navigate life. That's the series of those moments where I needed to die in order to be reborn. Sometimes it's truly painful. Truly, there were so many moments in my life that were truly painful. But I know at this moment, something even more amazing is just like behind the door, around the corner. So I love to have or embody this mindset or energy of being a phoenix. Truly, don't be scared to burn the old version of you down. Just grow the new one again. And it's painful, but it's really a fast transformation. Years ago, I was completely a different person than I'm today. Maybe 2 years ago, I was a really different person.
yeah, I remember when I first met you, you were completely different. You're just doing this animal flow primal, and no one like this wild woman, powerful,
Yeah.
connected to her body, her inner union, and all that. It's like the last time I saw you in Mindvalley, like this warrior goddess coming.
Thank you for seeing me. Yeah, we've just finished that journey throughout the Tantric Academy. So it had its own effect, really. It helped me in my journey a lot. And since then, yeah, it's all those tools having with you and navigating your life with trust in everything. So that's what I want, like every person experience, because life gets so much more enjoyable, pleasurable, and so much fun.
Yeah, so true. And I really loved how you're like not afraid of burning down the old stuff because you always know that then the new thing can be even better. So it's
Yeah.
like something amazing is about to happen for me. I have this belief, this faith, mostly in yourself, I
Yeah.
would say. And from this, you're just doing everything.
Yeah. Sometimes it gets bumpy, but then you truly trust and don't let yourself like be pulled back, but truly stay in that embodiment and feeling that energy on everyday basis and reminding yourself of those gifts. And also, we can't forget to mention really supporting your body every day, like every waking moment.
So what are some of the everyday routines that you do to support your body?
Yeah, definitely different kinds of movement. And my basis is really walks, then sensual dance, free dance, animal flow, even if for a few minutes. These are like three most important ones for me. Then maybe sometimes strength training, but really love animal flow, how variable it is. And it serves my needs of strength training and mobility and balance and dynamics and everything. Sometimes I also guide women in a group program through strength training. So yeah, I still do some strength training. And when I feel like that, and sometimes also when I need to, or when I want to tap into that really masculine energy, strength training truly helps you embody that feeling at that moment. So these are my movement practices. Also, really making time for my morning routine, like every day, to have at least a few minutes for my own morning routine, to envisioning that high timeline of mine and truly starting embodying that from the very beginning of the day, because that's the most important thing to tap into that already in the morning and navigating your life throughout the day from that energy. And my contrast showers, really the cold, hot showers in the morning as well. Like singing, activating my throat chakra also. What else? That's strong, soft, sensual ritual, which is part of mostly like part of my morning routine, my evening routine with some kind of like soothing, sensual movement or just calming movement. Also the touch, breath work, different kinds of breath work. Dance is truly a big part of my life, of my everyday life, and music, listening to music. People from my town, my friends, could tell how they always see me with the earbuds in my ears, and they tend to call at me, and I can't hear because I'm just drawn into my world and into a beautiful music that elevates my energy like on hour to hour basis. Truly, it's a big part of my life. Music. I used to play instruments, drums, flute, a bit of
Yeah, like
wow.
you had this sporty career, but you also have this musical
Yeah, yeah,
background. That's something new.
yeah. I like music is truly a big part of my life. A lot of singing, a lot of different music styles also. And that's also how I learn languages, songs. I hear the languages. So I've learned like more languages throughout my life. And I love to learn new languages. So yeah, like Slovak, they are our brothers. So we kind of like know how to speak some Slovak. Then English, German, we had Latin in my high school. And through that, I started learning Italian and a bit of Spanish and Portuguese. And I can just read those things. Sometimes I don't understand those languages, but I can read and I can understand. And I love that. Really, you can hear that language and you can make fun, taste the life from different angles to music, to communications, to friends, to networks as we both have in common, and really those deep connections with people. Don't do shallow conversations, shallow relationships. Yeah,
That's the line
right.
for talking the human design line for because I'm just saying we are supposed to have our own network, mostly like small circle, intimate circle. We love the one-on-one connections, we love the small groups, and we are not actually both you and me as two of course, we're not supposed to work
Right,
with
right.
strangers. And all the opportunities will come to us through our
Yeah.
network. to the people who know us and who know how valuable
Yeah,
we are
true.
actually.
And that's what I also learned throughout my own journey. Really, when some strangers come to me, it just doesn't feel good in my body. I don't enjoy that. I mean, if it's a good friend of my good friend, then it's a different thing.
And we are also strangers at some point, but we were connected through the
Yeah.
Mindvalley Holopathy community. We studied the same coaching certification. Then we came together as community. Naturally happened.
It was kind of a snowball and getting closer and closer. I don't tend to allow many people really close to me, but still, I realized how many people I love and really have close now. But it's truly that deep connection. Once there's that deep connection, then it can work. I can still remember our connection. First, we were planning on doing something together like 2 years ago for the MVU as a tribe event, and then we met for the first time on that hollow body circle when doing those exercises in the park. And it was such an amazing encounter of us whole body and TEDx coaches. And that's how we need to operate life. We two force. And that was an amazing opportunity for us to not push the connection, but at the same time to truly get connected to what we love, people we love, and through that same circle, And we naturally went to the dinner together and it started revealing itself. That's how we navigate that. It's just the same, I love how human design really reveals those things, those patterns. And I mean, I don't allow many like this complete strangers to come into my life. But once I feel closeness and the depth of the other person, then it can get truly, let's say, friendship for the whole life, like
Yeah, we don't see very often, but when you do it, we can go deep
right.
immediately.
Yeah.
If you see Tallinn, Estonia, Amsterdam, because you also met during the biohacking summit that was in Amsterdam. So it's like maybe we see once or twice a year, but it's still like you can go deep immediately.
Right. It's deep dive, jump into the depths because we can truly agree on we just don't like that shallow waters of like, oh hi, how are you? And it's just not that's the optimal thing we thrive in. So we love deep conversations and deep connection and truly like see each other also in pain and talking also about that stuff. So that's what I love. And that's also how I love my clients when we're asking about my clients. Actually, when I look back, most times it has always been either somebody from my close circle. They truly saw my gifts and my strengths and that I was inspiring them. And they wanted something from my energy and from my journey, maybe to embody that too. What I realized, I'm a big activator. I really activate those gifts in people around me and that energy. So, that's one thing. Or they were people from the close people of my close people, and that's how it works for me the best. And when I feel connection, that's when the magic happens.
So yeah, of course, for you, most clients and people come through connections. But if somebody wants to find you and try to get into this circle or become your client, where can people find you?
Yeah, I have my Instagram account. The handle is Sporty Shaman. See that because I'm from the Czech Republic. That's one of the ways you can start like feeling my energy, let's say. I wouldn't say there's everything because all my closest people always say to me, you don't show everything in your social media, but it's so hard, because that's the place where the strangers are.
Yeah, you don't need to show everything. I'm also feeling that I don't want to show everything. It just shows what version of you will display publicly, and whoever is in this close circle, they will see more. They will get all.
Oh yeah. So once you get close to me, then again the magic happens. Yeah, you can start with social media, or if you're a friend of my friend, that's amazing. Then say hi and let's have a talk. Or if you totally truly resonate with me with what I'm saying here, if it clicks in your body, if it resonates, just Yeah, you can even go cold and write a message to me if it truly resonates, because there can also be some connection we can reveal. I also have my website, which I'm building now. It's my Soulprint Codes website, and it still isn't working properly. But maybe now you are watching this podcast and it's already.
Yeah, I can put the link in the
Yeah.
description so people can just go and click and see, okay, where is the website?
Yeah.
What is it doing right now? What's progress so far?
And if you're from the Mindvalley community, just feel free and find me in maybe in a Mindvalley University or super coach event. I love to meet people there, and I'm a hugger, I must say, even if I'm like the 2-4, I'm a big hugger. If it clicks, yeah, we'll really connect immediately. Also, I have my Facebook private profile, which is public.
Which is public?
The Facebook profile, Barbara Večeřová, it's like open to anyone. So you can see my pulse, my energy a bit too. These are the main channels, I would say. Yeah, just let's get connected. I'm a networker, so let's get connected.
Yeah. Number 4. Great. Thank you for this amazing connection. And we went deep once again. And yeah, like I already said at the beginning, we did it for the second time, but every time it's a little bit different. It's still deep, and it's a different kind of flavor. So if you want to have more of us, just go check out Barbara's accounts and follow, and
Yeah.
maybe you will get closer to her network.
I'll be happy. You're so welcomed and invited to get closer. If you truly resonate, then let's have fun. Let's go this journey together.
Very, thank you again.
Thank you, my dear.